Good morning, Vietnam! No, it's not really Vietnam. Just good morning to you all. You really don't know what time of day I could be doing this, right? I'm off to an early start today because I have to help my family with a bunch of things. Literally, in the afternoon, my dad and I are going down to help my sister fix her toilet. That's one of the things she's not able to do herself. But if you took a look at a toilet under the hood of the toilet, take the little thing off the back and you go, there are just a few working parts in there. You could figure out what's going on with the toilet. Could you not? I also have to go over to my parents' house in a little while this morning to help my dad video conference with a doctor. So I have all these other things going on today, which interferes with my normal program schedule. I usually like to do this in the late morning, before or after lunch. Sometimes I've been having an early lunch at like 10 a.m. and then doing this. But this time, it's early, so I have the energy. And I slept poorly, so I'm like, I have this energy right now, and I'm like, I better use this energy while I have it, because if I think I'm going to come home tonight and do it, I just don't think it's going to go over that well. So here I am, toilet repairman, technology extraordinaire, helping my parents communicate with doctors, because really there's no choice. So I'm going over there a half an hour early to make sure that I can log into this thing for them and that it all works properly. And I hope it's not like this thing I did before where it's like, fill out this entire form before you can actually log on, because I'll be like, fuck. Because I'm only thinking I'm going over to log on to video conferencing, and then it's like, fill out this questionnaire about your health before we can get to this part where we're talking to the doctor. I fucking hate I hate doctoring these days, healthcare, all of that shit fucking pisses me off. There's something wrong with the world. And I'm agitated. I feel, as Howard Stern, one of my mentors, often says, I got agita. And it's because I was watching, this is like the story every day. You turn on your phone and you see all of the social division in society, which is petty social division distracting us from the real horrible shit that's going down. There's so much on my mind. Right now it's like a flood of shit, and I'm like, what do I talk about? And I usually have some notes guiding me, and I'm just like, okay, that bullet point. Shoot off of that topic right there. I was watching Amala from PragerU interview the lead guy. His name is something Boring. His last name is Boring. Could you imagine having the name Boring? It's who is it? Daily Wire. She was interviewing the dude from Daily Wire who's in charge of that company, and his last name is Boring. Boring. So when you meet him, you say his first name and you pronounce the last name Boring. And they were talking about the state of woke society, and that was just a little bit agitating for me, because I've been very, this is my therapy. Like I've said, I come on here, I try to be jovial. I don't want to be negative, so I don't want to get too into that. But I just recognize there's this pervasive fucking narcissism in American society right now, and it's really bugging the living crap out of me. That's not a joke. It's really causing me a lot of personal stress, and I don't know how or when I'm going to get back to feeling okay about my surroundings. I don't think it's ever going to happen. I think in order for things to get better, the way I think they should be better, I think we're going to have to go through such turmoil that it's unbelievable. I think people are going to have to suffer greatly. What an uplifting show, but no, that's the truth. I just feel I feel a lot of pressure, and when I was going to bed last night, grab one of these over here. Come on now, man. When I was going to bed last night, I actually felt extremely sad just sitting there in the evening, and I don't really want to get into what was bugging me, but there's so much about society bogging me down right now, and if I let myself, I can really let it pull me down. And so when I'm reading this book that I've told you guys I'm reading, the memoirs of David Rockefeller, it's something like that is really intellectually stimulating for me. It's calming. It makes me focus, and it enhances my attention span, because it actually takes effort to stay focused on this thing that I'm reading. And It's really interesting, and it's making me think about the world, the history of the world, the values people had when they were setting up these things that prefaced our current existence. And sometimes I'm like, is this a good person or is this not a good person? And so I get these red flags in there, but I also read it and I go, this is a very nice man here I'm reading about. And then I'm like, wait a minute. And then he talks about being on the Council of Foreign Relations, and and then he goes to work for Chase Bank, and he's setting up all these banking ties to the rest of the world. And I'm like, oh boy, that's the preface. Because once you make people dependent on you, and once you give people a taste of prosperity, you make them dependent on you, then they can like snatch it away from you at some later point. Like they didn't have control of you when they came to offer you the loan. But then you take the loan, you build up your society, you're dependent, and when you're dependent, you're vulnerable. So sometimes I think every country, instead of taking a handout from another country, should have like built independence on their own. Um, did I mention narcissism yet? I just kind of feel like I'm overwhelmed with narcissists in life. And I'm not pointing to everyone. I am pointing to certainly anyone who's a narcissist, but I also feel like narcissists have this common cause now where they're working with one another to have an anything goes society where the moral backbone of society isn't there. So it's stressing me out a lot. Do I tend to dwell about such things in the morning more frequently than later in the day? Yes, I'd say that's why I might be talking about these things right now. But a group of narcissists who enable one another is worse than a narcissist, and it's scary to me. There's tremendous brainwashing going on. There are people who are so lonely and insecure that they'll go along with anything, and I see a lot of that happening in society right now. It's very troubling to me. And so this particular show may or may not go the full hour. We'll just see how it goes. Once my brain gets warmed up, we'll do the rise shortly. I have a plan this weekend. I'll be meeting an interesting group of people. I don't think there will be a show Friday unless I get really spontaneous and record one tonight to put out on Friday. I don't think that's going to happen. So Monday will be the next one, this coming Monday. But this particular weekend, I will be meeting a handful of interesting people, Eric and Daryl, and I think Larry as well from Eric and Daryl Live. And there will be other people there. There's a concert Friday night I'm going to with the band Winger, and I might have a chance to be meeting that band, which is kind of cool. They have an amazing guitarist, Reb Beach. Kip Winger's an amazing composer. And there's a band opening up for them called Lynam. And back in the day, I received a CD from Lynam when I was doing my podcast Barefoot Radio, then subsequently Marijuana Radio, and I used to spin the music of Lynam, and so they're having a reunion concert, and I thought this would be a very interesting thing to go to. This dude in that band, Jacob Bunton, is an amazing musician. He's a hired hand for a lot of other people. He's done recordings with Mick Mars from Motley Crue. He's done recordings and performances with Steven Adler, the former drummer of Guns N' Roses, the original drummer of Guns N' Roses. Never quite felt like Guns N' Roses was the same after that original lineup broke up. But that first debut album is magical. But anyway, so I'm going to have a chance to meet all these people I've heard of for a lot of years. Of course, there's also this podcast called X5 Podcast that I was introduced to through Eric and Daryl. And though that group of guys are putting on the concert with Winger, and these same guys will be there at this show and this gathering over the weekend, people hanging out. I imagine some people are going to be having a silly time. A lot of people are going to be drinking. God knows what else will be going around. I don't know. I was like, I better lower my expectations, because I'm like, could I get laid there? And I'm like, I better lower my expectations. Every time I used to think that, I'll definitely get laid on a given night, I would go home disappointed. So I'm lowering my expectations, but I'm actually catering my actions to maximize the experience. I have some ideas of some people who are going to be there, and we have these things in common: the music, these podcasts, these shows on YouTube, and Kip Winger. I've always wanted to meet Kip Winger. In fact, several years ago when he was performing a concert in Greeley, I thought about buying a ticket with the VIP package where you could meet him or something. But I never did because I was cheap at the time. And he has a new album right now, which I've heard a few of the songs on it, but it's like the only album I haven't listened to. Believe it or not, there are a handful of Winger albums that I've listened substantially to, and not the first two albums because I know those were when they were in their heyday, but these subsequent albums they did when the band, unfortunately, and the music style very much fell out of favor because of grunge coming in, they did better work. It's like they grew. They got more interesting as artists. Some of the music got heavier. It just got edgier, and it felt more authentic emotionally. And Kip Winger is also an exceptional solo artist. So I'm looking forward to hopefully meeting him. I'm going to get a selfie with some of these people and hopefully maybe record a couple clips of speaking to them. Because that's what I want to do. Yep, I'm burping. So instead of having breakfast, my breakfast was basically a protein shake. And my shoulder's killing me. When I sleep on it, it just really starts killing me. This is what I don't like about this shirt. It's like, I want this to stay like that. And so this is a Love Colorado. I do love Colorado. I love the natural beauty. I love a lot about this place where I've grown up. I just can't stand the governance, and I don't even like the governor. I can't stand the governor. In fact, I was just getting dressed to do this recording, and I was thinking about the governor going, I wonder if there's something that they have on him to make him do some of the horrific things he's been willing to do as the governor. Because I kind of think of these people as owned. I don't think of them as independent operators working for the people. I think of them as owned by big interests. Sometimes I just think of them automatically by default, most of them as being corrupted in such a scary, frightening way, like that they'll do whatever they're told. And I would actually rather die than sell out my country. So, and they might be like, well, we'll kill your whole family. And it's like, well, I guess I'll just die. I would rather I die than sell out my country. And I feel that way about a lot of leaders. I'm like, wow, you really did that? I would rather die. You're so fucking immoral that I would rather die than live your life and do some of the things you do. And I'm talking about policy, shutting businesses down, and other things that are unmentionable right now for me because they make me so fucking angry that it's ridiculous. Where am I going? Before I do the RISE, the new RISE, I want to tell you about a dream I had last night. It's not very interesting, but it was dreamt that I was in a TV series. I dreamt that I was in a TV series that was like a follow-up to the TV show Cheers. So it took place in a bar, and we were all sitting there, and I was actually sitting in the bar saying, this is a boring bar. What the fuck with this boring bar and these walls, these nasty walls? They look like there's semen on the walls. I don't know why I said that. Semen on the walls in the bar, and this is a TV show on NBC. Why? Why? Why, I don't know. Why does my mind come up with these things when I have dreams? I want to know. So the bar was boring, and I remember there were just, I was just talking to people there, and I recall having a guitar in my hands, about to play this guitar, and then someone took it out of my hands and then started like restringing it. It was a guy named Jason, and I beat up Jason when I was younger. I did, because he bullied me when we were young kids, and this is not part of the dream, but he bullied me when we were young kids, so I let him have it, and he fucking stopped bugging me. It just took me like a fucking school year to get used to, to get up the courage to make him stop bullying me. That's a sad, true story, to be honest with you. Never fucked with me again. I got kicked out of a little birthday party, and that birthday party, I think her name was Michelle. Michelle, one time I was like, will you go out with me? And she laughed, and she said I was ugly. That's true. These are true stories, okay? So I went to Michelle's birthday party, And Jason was picking on me because I hung out with neighbor friends of mine who were a year ahead of me in school. And it was great. They were great, cool kids. I felt like I was in a cooler group hanging out with older kids. And then, like, this kid Jason kept pestering me, and I let you have it, didn't I? And so I am, to be honest with you, I'm not a tough guy at all. I am the type of guy, you can fucking abuse me a lot for a long time. But then when I get pissed off, when it's like, finally, I've had enough, I go from 0 to 100 in about like 1 second. And then you're like, uh-oh. Uh-oh. True, all true. So I don't know. What's the deal with dreaming about the bar? I don't know. I've been hanging out in the kava bar. It didn't look like the kava bar. It didn't look out like the karaoke bar that I hang out in. Whatever it was, whatever it is, why ever this, oh my God, I almost deleted my notes by accident. That would have sucked. Well, I got to get going here on the rise. Otherwise, I'm afraid I might not have the time to get through all of my stuff. And I want to go down with the fader. Yeah, so I'm going away this weekend for a couple days. I'll be back actually immediately. And almost immediately. And I expect to have a good time. But there's this part of me dreading fucking traveling, and that's not a joke, because frankly I have ridiculous amounts of anxiety traveling, and I'm pretty sure it stems from being out of town during 9/11 and flying to Los Angeles, being in Los Angeles and getting stuck there when all the planes were down, and then I had to drive home. And I know I've mentioned this before. I should probably tell more about that story at some point, but I'm not going to go into that right now, but I think that's part of it. And so then traveling got more difficult. The security got more difficult. Boarding a plane got more difficult. It's not even the expense that bothers me. So I'm reading from fucking David Rockefeller's book, and he makes it sound so easy to travel. So what they've done is they've made it more and more restrictive. If you are like a regular citizen of a country, you have your dog tag, your ID. They make it so hard for you to go to another place in contrast to the world in the past. So we are actually inherently much less free, even though we have a perception of this is like freedom. But then you can like swarm across the southern border, no problem. But if you want to get on an airplane and fly to another country, you have to kind of go through a small hell. And I sometimes think that this was created this way to create... to obstruct us, to eventually chip away at the autonomous movement of people until eventually there will be nothing left. And so people need to resist all this crap. You know, it's just out of hand. I could go an hour just on that topic alone saying what I think about this and the other thing, but that's another one of those things that makes me mad. So I have a lot of anxiety traveling. And I have my cousin down in, I think it's Arizona, and a friend of mine, and they're always like, come down here. And I haven't gone down there for these reasons because I'm like, oh my God. And so the lockdown made it much worse on me. So when I know people were masking to get on airplanes, and I know how badly they were harassing people for not wearing their masks, like if you don't have it over your nose, the fucking stewardess and the stewards, whatever you call them, your fucking gender, whatever, they would be harsh on people. You could get in trouble for just not putting a fucking thing over your nose. And I know I have trouble breathing. So this causes me anxiety, and it took me forever. When I bought this ticket to go where I'm going this weekend, I stressed fiercely about it. And it's not for normal reasons. It's not like, oh, the money. Yeah, okay, I'm spending money. And so that's part of what I'm overcoming, but it's really the psychological fucking... So I have issues with traveling, psychological issues with traveling. It causes me stress. And I felt like I was getting over it a few years ago when I went to Los Angeles in 2019, July. I had gone to Los Angeles that spring with my mother, my sister, and my daughter, and we had a good time, and I got familiarized with some things. So I went back to Los Angeles in July. I had an excellent time, and I felt very comfortable getting around doing what I was doing. I knew exactly where I was going, so there was almost no stress in the process, except for getting on the airplane. Going to the airport and getting on the airplane always fucking stresses me out. Don't like those aspects of it. Traveling, shit, you know, there's this fun aspect to traveling. I like being on the open road and just seeing what's going by. Takes a long time, but whatever, you know. I'm going to go bing, a bang, a boom. What? Hold on. That's retarded. What the fuck just happened? You kidding my ass? It went to Kelly McEnany on Fox. Like, why did it skip to an entirely different video is what I want to know. That makes no sense to me. Anyway, no, we're going to go back like this. We're going to go a beep, a bop, and a boop. Yeah. What you doing? What you doing, my friends? What you doing, my friends? The new rise. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm up bright and early to entertain you. I'm telling you about all my woes, my sadness, where I'm going, what I'm doing, what I'm enjoying, what I'm not enjoying. Why is it so hard to travel? I don't stress about the TV going from point A to point B, except for what I say here. I love that build right there. The tension that builds. It's so freaking awesome. I simply must say, God bless you. No, God bless you. No, God bless you. Shut up. No, God bless you. Ah! I know. Good people, good. It feels a little off this morning, to be honest with you. Is it my best performance? I doubt it. Is it something that I should be ashamed of? Of course not. It's not that kind of thing. We're meant to have fun with this. Whatever bad happens, we try to roll off of that with something, you know, more uplifting. Maybe that shitty mistake you made, Paul, will allow you to do something new and novel and spontaneous in the next moment. Do you know what I'm saying? If you don't know what I'm saying, if you don't follow, I don't know what to say. It takes a little special something to do this here with me because I am not your normal performer. I watch what other people do, and they're so, like, in their little niche. And it's like I have said, I am not going to fucking do anything if I have to stick to one topic. If it's all manosphere shit and I don't delve out of that, I'm not going to be a happy camper. So I'm going to do what I want to do, and you're going to have to like it, or you're going to have to skedaddle, scram, beat it, get lost, out, leave, hasta la vista, baby, sayonara, adios, avita sane. How do you say goodbye in French? What do you say in French when you say goodbye? Au revoir, dude. I was like almost thinking I wouldn't be able to remember how to say goodbye in French. I can't think of any other languages where you say goodbye. I know in English you say, see you later. Goodbye. Have a nice day. Later, bro. I can't think of anything else. So what do I want to do here? I'm just going to go to what is next on my list right here, right now. Okay, so right here I have a little clip from Dynasty in the 80s, and it's Joan Collins. And I was a little shocked to notice in this her age. I looked up her age. She's like 50 years old. This woman is my age here, and somehow when I look at her, I'm like, dude, bruh, it's lays up, bruh. I'm all in this Pauly Shore kick lately, so you'll have to bear with me on that. I want to cut that sound on, and we'll listen to what she says here. She's not a nice lady that she played on Dynasty.
You know exactly what's wrong. I am the best man for this job, and you were the one who ruined me, damn it! And now you owe me!
No, she's a stunning, beautiful woman, but I think her style could be like way better here. I could imagine her hair being way different and being more attractive than she is here.
I don't know you or anyone else a thing.
Oh, I've had your necklace fixed, Alexis.
Just leave it with my secretary, Mark. Oh, and Mark, another little job for you. Please escort Mr. McVeigh out of my office.
McVeigh?
And out of my building.
Now, just a minute, Alexis.
Get out of my sight, you miserable has-been.
That's rude. Look who's talking. You look like an old lady for 50 in there. I see all kinds of gorgeous women. Gorgeous fucking women. And you are not one of them at that age and stage. And it's the style, because I can see... Let's just keep actually watching that for a second. I want to comment on her beauty a little bit. Let's go back here. Come back to me. No more sound. Well, actually, I'll play the sound. Why not? A little bit underneath. What's going on?
Oh, you.
Oh, you.
I don't know you or anyone else.
She's a beauty, see? But, like, she has so much makeup on. I imagine kissing a woman with that much makeup and, like, getting it all over my lips and being like, and so it's like, she's like, Paul, I want to kiss you. And I'm like, Joan, wipe it off, please, a little bit, because it's all going to smear all over me, and I don't like that. Now, I like the aesthetic of it, though. I love the eye makeup with the dark around the eyes on her. She's fine looking. She's a fine looking lady, but this style for the era makes you look old. And dump that cigarette, babe. So I'm imagining kissing you right now, and I'm imagining how I once got to have my way with this incredibly beautiful young woman who smoked Camel cigarettes, and it was nasty. It was nasty, as Jedediah says, nasty. Seriously. And so dump the cigarettes. This girl smoked Camel cigarettes, and that was like the nastiest thing about her, because she was otherwise a fine specimen, if you know what I mean. Perfect figure, gorgeous, enjoyed having the fun that we had. It's so nice when you can find that kind of arrangement. Beautiful. And her being young was like an aphrodisiac. She was fine, super fine. Rebecca, I miss you, but right now you're probably around 40 years old, and I would have to evaluate you before enjoying you again, but give me a call. I can't name her last name because I don't even remember her last name, but I recorded 2 songs about Rebecca, one of which was called Rebecca de Hornay. And true story, Rebecca had a lesbian friend that she fooled around with on the side. And the lesbian would call me in the middle of the night and threaten to kill me if I didn't stop seeing Rebecca. And you know what? I didn't listen. I did what I wanted. And the lesbian still was angry, but whatever, I had my fun. Imagine like, oh, let me stop having sex with this beautiful young woman because this lesbian on the side is jealous. Nope. I take it because you know why? I'm the man. I can. I'm the man, therefore I am. I can. That's almost like a derivative of a song lyric in this riff I play on the guitar, and I sing a line. I'm the man. I can. It's all mine. Just taking the world. It's all mine, this world. Don't you tell me it's not mine. I'm the man. This is my world, baby. Ah, yes, people. I'm getting a little too boisterous. I'm spilling a little bit of wetness here. What comes next? Do you remember what comes next? This is what comes next. Boom! What is next on the list, Mr. Paul? Oh, okay. I might get a copyright strike for this, but I don't care. I was like, I dig this. I want to play this. And I have a couple things to say about it. It's from Succession. I don't want a copyright strike. It's just like, it's cultural. I think I should have the right to say something about it. It's a 2-minute, 22-second clip, and I personally really enjoy it, and I have comments about it, like I said. It's Logan Roy's son, Kendall, on Succession, singing a rap he made up, and I think it's actually a clever rap. I enjoy it quite a bit.
Everyone, it's a pleasure to have you here tonight to honor
my
dad's life and work. So, when Rhea was planning this, she asked me to help out with
Rhea, fuck you, bitch.
With a little tribute of a certain flavor.
Yeah,
and after a lot of
very good.
Well, here we are.
Everybody, like, surprised. What's going on here?
Just remember,
I think he's going to masturbate on stage to a photo
Okay,
of
so
Dad.
here we go. You know what? Right here, my first comment really is that
Is he about to...
you, sir, Romulus, you are jealous because your brother has more creativity than you, and that's what it is. I see jealousy from Roman because Kendall is showing he actually has some serious creative juice, and that's part of why I liked this character. He does this thing for his dad here, and I'm like, it turned out really good. And anyone knocking it, I'm like, are you guys fucking deaf? He's like more talented than all of you, and you're ripping on it because you're so highfalutin in your attitude. Let's continue on here. I really like it.
Just
I
remember,
think he's
I'm
going to
not a
masturbate
professional.
on stage to a photo of Dad.
My boy Squiggle cooked up this beat for me.
Squiggle.
Check it. Born on the North Bank, king of the East Side, 50 years strong. Now he's rolling in a sick
And his
rod,
dad is
handmade
so
suits,
stuffy.
raking in.
His dad is like this larger than life scary figure, but let's hear it. I don't want to cut it all up. I want you to hear that I think the actor is talented. I don't remember the name of the actor. I want to say it's Jeremy something.
Salute, 5-star general, yo, best salute. Yo, bitches be catty, but the king is
Jesus, no.
daddy. Rock all the haters where we go, roll
Ken
back.
W.A.
Squiggle on the decks,
I read
Kenny on the run.
it is burning my eyes, but I cannot look away.
L to the OG, dude be the OG, and he playing like a pro. C, L to the OG, dude be the OG, and he
It's very good.
playing like a pro, make some noise. A1 ratings, 80K wine.
Yeah.
Never gonna stop, baby. Fuck Father Time, bro. Don't get it twisted. I've been through hell, but since I stand dad, I'm alive and well. Shaper of views, creator of news, father of many, paid all his dues. So don't try to run your mouth at the king. Just pucker up, bitch, and go kiss the ring. L to the OG. Dude be the OG, and he playing. Make some noise.
Yeah!
When
I'm so
I say
disappointed.
L, you
know,
say-
not in his performance right now. I'm so disappointed. My emotions were wrapped up in this character. I wanted him to be the successor. Oh, man, I have strong feelings about it. Damn you. Not you, Kendall. Damn your sister.
OG, L to the L to the
You need to stop this.
L to
Oh,
the
there you go, Romulus. You pussy, Romulus. You stinking nether regions of a lady of the night. You wimp. You jealous little bastard. Great character played by Kieran. Wait a minute. Kieran Culkin is his name. I have to say his brother's name first, Macaulay Culkin, in order to be able to say Kieran Culkin, because I want to say Kieran McCulkin, because his brother's Macaulay, and I'm all confused. Damn it!
L to the
And he's smiling. Dad likes it.
Fucking OG.
I think this might be the
Yeah.
end of the company.
I love
We might
that.
get sucked into a black hole embarrassment that we never get out of.
Dundee in the motherfucking house.
Boom, mic drop. I love that. That's so cool. Okay, you may not like that. That may seem like a diversion from some other shit that I'm into, but I am into that. I want this show to have the latitude where I can make commentary on culture. And I'm hoping that the copyright statement that I put up at the beginning of this show covers that kind of usage. So it means I wouldn't be able to monetize videos on YouTube for violating copyright. But I am making legitimate commentary on it. I like it. And I'm not going to play the whole show. But here's the fucking irony. So YouTube would be like, okay, you can't monetize this video because of that clip right there. But meanwhile, YouTube will still put advertisements over it and take the benefit from the content that I'm making, so they get a monetary benefit out of it. I don't, but they do. Okay, like whatever. I need to confirm that these videos I'm uploading to YouTube are still appropriately transferring over to Rumble, because that's what they should be doing. And they were doing that for a while, and then I thought maybe one of them skipped somehow, and I'm not sure why. I have to make sure that connection hasn't been severed for any reason, but carry on we shall right now. My next video here, and we L to the OG. I like that. Okay, so I have a clip here from Bill Maher. He's talking to one of my favorite musicians, Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins. And it's a discussion about this is what scared Billy Corgan during the lockdowns. And so I do have some commentary on this. It's actually something I have to tread carefully with because it makes me fucking angry. The whole topic of the lockdown makes me angry. What we've been through in the last few years, the deliberate deception going on by authority corporations across the board fucking pisses me off. And I'm not a normal person about it, I assure you. I don't talk about it much on here because it gets me temperamental, but it's two people I like very much talking about it. And Bill's such a weasel. You went along with it the whole time, dude. And you know why I'm disappointed is because I would think you, Bill Maher, I would think you had the intelligence and the latitude to speak out against things when the time is appropriate, the time appropriate being prior to tyranny, when you see it there instead of like, well, we're going along to get along. You could have been canceled easily. You had to play it very carefully because you have to like appease your darlings. Whatever.
Is it true? Were we actually better off when we weren't so over-supervised? And I think they studied this. Yes.
Of course.
Kids, yes, will a small number die who
There's
wouldn't?
so little trust in people these days to do anything, you know? And to illustrate a point, one time, if you fucking walk through the airport and smoke a cigarette, one of those security people is going to be like, you, get over here. You're going to fucking get ticketed, and that's it. That's it. You're fucking ticketed. You broke the rule. You're busted. We're citing you right now. We're finding you right now. Welcome to America. You go to fucking Rome, though, and I don't know how it is right now today, because I know it's gotten a lot worse over there. Back in the day, I've actually seen it, where people are like smoking cigarettes. The policeman comes up and goes, no, like this. Put it out. And then like, so the person puts it out. That's it. That's the end of the exchange. There's so much civility in that. But at the same time, in Italy, they pull you over holding a machine gun. They don't even know you. They'll pull you over for no reason at all. They have the latitude to do that. They can search your car without probable cause just because they want to. So it's like a flip side of the universe, and you have to be wise and careful about a great many things. And so living here in the United States, I've said this so many times in the last few years, the American people have never been more abused than they are right now. On so many levels, I think there's psychological operations being conducted against them. There are restrictions on their rights that have happened, and it does have to do with mask mandates and fucking vaccine mandates. And there's something really nasty about the reality we're living in. Like, I haven't even gotten to this video yet, but I feel strongly about it. I have things to say about it. You know, just because a technology exists doesn't mean that you have to bring that technology into the world and make it the norm of the life we live in. What am I talking about? Just because I have a cell phone doesn't mean I should have to have digital ID when it works perfectly fine on my fucking little ID that I get printed out. You know what else? Like money. I don't need digital money's convenient to have as an alternative for convenience, but it doesn't mean you should get rid of the convenience of cash, the privacy of cash. And so we live in so many stupid aspects of the world right now that drive me crazy on a regular basis. And some people who know me know that I'm tied up in knots over these issues. I can't discuss them with certain people because they're just like, oh, here he goes again. And it's like, I'm not the one with the problem here. The real problem is that you're just letting people barrel over us. The spraying in the sky, the shit in the water, the shit in the food, like tainting food. All these things piss me off. I haven't even gotten to this video yet because it's like, I just know what they're talking about. And so I'm like, da-da-da-da, rattle off all these opinions I have about it.
If you didn't give them an EpiPen and a fucking helmet to go to the mailbox, yes. But for society and for all the kids who make it, I mean, just putting masks on 2-year-olds, I think was a fucking crime.
Dude, no fucking duh. I've been saying that since the beginning. It's abuse. All the schools that did it were engaging in abuse. That's me exercising my opinion. Abuse. And I'm not joking. This is not a joke. You can say I'm crazy, but I don't think that the manner in which I'm expressing myself even comes close to the injustice that was perpetrated by doing this to young children, psychologically damaging young children. Fucking A, I need to chill out. I don't want to do angry content. I knew when I pulled this fucking clip, I was going to be like, like the things you've done to children, and it continues on so many levels today. About subject matter I don't even want to bring up because I will fucking start losing it. It's not a joke to me.
Think about that. You have kids.
I was not into it.
I was not into it either.
Yeah, that's putting it politely.
I think the whole thing.
I wasn't into it. See how they're not expressing themselves with the appropriate indignance because they have so much to lose, these guys. Bill Maher with his lucrative contract at HBO and Billy Corgan with his music career. If Billy Corgan starts speaking his mind, he'll have concert venues like being like, oh, cancel this guy. He can't come here to play. What kind of fucking reality do we live in? This is not freedom of speech. This is not liberty. Hate speech. Oh my God, hate speech. Oh my God, everything's diseased. I'm afraid to touch it. Oh my God, I'm going to get sick. I'm not belittling anyone who has gotten sick. I myself had something. I had COVID, and it was not a pleasant experience. I think something was out there. Something still is out there. But it still is like, and all the politics of all that, everything associated with that make me fucking sick the way this country's dealt with it. It is the most disgraceful time in my life for the United States of America. Oh, and they threaten you. It's like, if you don't agree with A, B, C, and D, all these things, you're just a terrorist, you're a white supremacist. Never mind that makes no cognitive sense whatsoever. This is just how we're branding you so that we can eventually, get rid of you. Seriously. Anyone calling me a conspiracy theorist right now instead of recognizing the writing on the fucking wall, who do you really think is fucking brainwashed here? Because I'm saying it ain't me.
I find it really weird, and obviously there was a mob out there making the case once the propagandists got done with them, that people can tell you what to do.
Right.
Don't even know
exactly.
me.
I
The
find that
entire
really
world. They locked down the entire fucking world. How unprecedented was that? I have tremendous fucking anxiety over it still to this day. I think for me there was PTSD involved, going around and seeing everyone in masks when I really don't think it was even 10% that fucking dangerous. Misinformation.
Even in an emergency.
Oh, we gotta clamp down on misinformation. He's saying something that is not going along with us. Whoa, bad. He's bad. Do something with him. And so I expect more from you, Bill Maher, from someone who's been outspoken all these years about so many things. Why not? Why are you not? And now you are. Okay, but you're still kind of like mellow instead of, like I said, we've been grossly fucking abused these last few years, unlike ever before. And if we don't, speak up, stand up now, more bad shit is going to happen. The writing's on the wall. I live with a sense of foreboding about a great many things, and I think it's an accurate sense I have for what's going on right now. The fucking 9/11 was a walk in the park. COVID was a walk in the park compared to what these fucking demagogues have coming. And why is it all the Western leaders doing it to us? I feel like I'm saying too much, but whatever. Reality is reality. Those who can't fucking deal with reality are the ones who need to shut the fuck up, stand aside while people with real opinions, with real strong ideas about what's really going on, while we're trying to save your ass, you're sitting here disparaging us because you're fucking plugged into the Matrix. You can't fucking think. Speaking of the red pill, broad, objective awareness of things going on. It ain't just boys and girls diddling one another.
See, even in an emergency, and there was a moment there where you could say it was an emergency when,
yeah, but these motherfuckers had the data
Good.
pretty early
Thank
on.
you for saying
Yes.
that.
And they wouldn't
There,
let
you guys
it go.
are so civilized
Because
about it.
somebody was
Yes.
jerking off in an office over where laughing about it, what they got people to do.
no, I mean, if hospitals are being overrun, which didn't happen as much as they hyped it, but
That's right.
was certainly
But somehow when it was happening, I bet you were not recognizing what you're recognizing now. I fucking remember you saying before, Bill Maher, that people need to be more cynical. And let me tell you something, dude. I took that to heart and I think it served me well. And if people would be more cynical like you, I'm telling you, Bill Maher, be more fucking cynical, Bill Maher. Maybe if people in prominent positions like you were more cynical if you actually thought, hey, it's worth risking getting canceled for something so big, where the ramifications are so far fucking reaching for the state of liberty, for the well-being of what is supposed to be democracy. When I hear people who have perpetrated these things talking about democracy, I want to fucking vomit. It repulses me. I'm not being very funny right now because I'm like in that mood this morning and these things really fucking piss me off. I'm already on the fucking list for extermination, okay? So I might as well have my opinion out there, immortalized. I'm not going to be ashamed of it. I'm going to be afraid. My flesh is fucking afraid, but I'm hoping we win the spiritual battle, and this guy's not even spiritual. So, like, he doesn't get that it's a spiritual battle. He doesn't understand that there's an affront to the moral foundation of society that threatens everything.
Actually happening, and there were some times when, yes, there were gurneys in the hallways. Okay, that's an emergency.
That can just be a picture, too. What you're calling an emergency. You're referring to some image of something that might very well have been propaganda and calling it an emergency. Therefore, it's an emergency because there was a gurney in a hallway.
I can see
whatever.
draconian measures for a short period of time, but then to let...
But even the short period of time, dude, creates the precedent for them to do it again and to do it again harder and longer. And that's the whole fucking point, getting people trained like fucking domesticated animals. Dude, come on, Bill. I know you're fucking more intelligent.
It should have been 2 weeks, drag on for 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Flatten the
Oh, you're a Red Bar copy. Mike doesn't have half my fucking balls. Suck these balls, Mike. You don't have half the fucking balls to speak out against things that matter. You're just into fucking picking on people. Oh, yeah, I'm having fun picking on people. Eventually, Red Bar, like me, we won't have electricity. It'll be rationed. It'll be turned off. And then, like, it'll be like, why didn't I say something when I could? Fucking A.
curve. Remember flatten the curve?
Remember herd immunity? I mean, the way they like, just like in politics.
Flatten the curve, herd immunity. Yeah, right. All the counterintuitive, completely false shit. So, what you're saying now, Bill, would be contrary to. Oh, I can't even go. I don't want to go into this much.
Just
I don't
like
want to delve into this angry rabbit hole that much more. This clip is almost over. Then I'm gonna move on and I'm gonna lighten up. But I'm not sorry for a fucking single solitary thing I've said. There are many of you out there that we pity you who are brainwashed, but I fucking loathe those in power who know that they're doing the wrong thing and they're just scared and they're going along with it. I would rather die than sell out my country the way the fucking leaders have sold out the West right now. Fuckers.
Something, and if it doesn't turn out to be true, they don't apologize for it. They just move on to the next one.
Yeah. And God knows what they're using to figure out their messaging. Like, are they using AI or Google Analytics? You know what I mean?
Well, now they are.
Yeah, they tweak the messaging, right? So, and you know,
so
I'm
you
a
guys,
songwriter. You know what I mean? It's like, I think, oh, that's a pretty good album title, Flatten the Curve. You know what I mean? It's like, it has a ring to it. That's my point.
Okay, so I want to watch the full interview between these two guys. And what's unfortunate to me is this important conversation doesn't happen in the full breadth that it should, the importance of it. No one's going to watch my fucking video of me saying what I'm saying. I'm not even saying, I'm not citing, I'm just expressing an emotional opinion here, and I'm not citing things that need to substantiate the truth better, but I'm like beyond that. I'm enraged, and so that's why I always say there are other people with certain topics that I let them speak for me, because that's what happens. I just get fucking bent out of shape. I start yelling and screaming, and it's a bad scene. And there's the part of me that's not sorry. There's the part of me that feels also embarrassed to be that way. But that is the fucking honest manifestation of what I've been through the last few years. And my fucking story has been mild compared to some people who've literally been harmed or killed by this, who've lost family members. I get disgusted when Hollywood people were injured by the you-know-what, and they're just kind of like, shh, my career, shh. If you have $100 million fucking dollars, fuck your career, because you're going to be fucking destroyed anyway. Watch what happens when $50 million wealthy people get wiped out because of what's happening. I should fucking go work for InfoWars is what I should do. Because I have that kind of same fiery fucking attitude. But then I'll be angry like that all the time. And that's why that's not therapeutic for me, what I just did. And so I had a feeling once I got going on that, it was just going to be angering. I want to watch some of this video of Andrew Tate being interviewed by the... what am I doing? Oh, I'm just not even... He's being interviewed by the BBC, and this has gone somewhat viral. And maybe what I should have done was I should have put out his response to this interview. And I think he's been mistreated by the media. I don't even think he should talk to the mainstream media because it's just like I was saying before. It's like so full of deception and deceit that there's really nothing redeeming about it. This arrogant lady here, I'm not a fan of her like immediately. She is not cool to me at all. I don't know why journalists are so high on themselves. They personally make me sick.
Discipline, self-respect, hard work, obeying authority, listening to your fight coach, working hard in school, making as much money as possible.
I don't like that music in the background.
If you actually watch the things I say, if you actually watch my comments about women, I've done long podcasts for hours long about females, talking about protecting for them, providing for them, how I believe women should be treated in a relationship. I've done all.
You know what's bugging me about this right now, and I might want to cut out of it, is the fucking music in the back is too loud. Can't you fucking idiots mixing it deal? So I'm not gonna be cheerful during this either.
But you don't watch any of it, and then you come here and ask me to answer questions I've answered at length thousands of times.
Since you came out of custody, there seems to have been a lot about your charity work.
Correct.
On your social media.
I've always done the charity work, but now I'm promoting it.
There seems to be a real...
She looks like such a shrew. I learned that word the other day from Jamie Kennedy, and now I'm going to say that to you. You look like a shrew to me. And I'm just kind of pissed off. Right now I'm in a pissy mood because I'm short on sleep. That's a bummer of a combination for me. I do like being lighthearted.
Shift.
Yeah.
I wonder what's behind that.
Well, I've always done the charity work. I've been doing the charity work for years. I believe that it's my legacy to leave a positive influence on the world, and I've been doing charity work for over 5 years. Post my unfair, unjust incarceration. Post that, I've made it more clear the charity work I'm doing. But this is, once again, very interesting. I spend $25 million a year feeding children. Men, male children, and female children in Turkey, and Syria, and Iran, and
All
Iraq.
these are very good things. I'm grateful he does that for people. And I can't verify the 25 million, but if you're feeding people, I'm grateful for that.
I spend $25 million a year feeding children, and I'm still the worst man in the world because 4 years ago I made a sarcastic comment.
Because some people would look at that and say, okay, so before you got money from attracting people to...
That was real. Oh, baby, that was real. Let's keep going.
Your website by making controversial comments, but that might have got you into trouble, and so now you're looking for a new market. You're looking for a new market of followers who are attracted by a different sort of persona.
I've always done the charity work, so that is obviously incorrect, and I have proof that I've always done the charity work, so you're wrong, firstly. I believe that if you have a lot of wealth, you should help people, and I'm helping people. I also think it's very, very interesting that you cannot find another celebrity in the UK or anywhere else who's spending £25 million a year feeding children in war-torn countries. I'm doing that, and I've been doing that for a long time without even mentioning it. I never even said it. And now
making good points. He's obviously pissed off, and he should be. It's just like real men in the world these days, they are shat upon. And the world needs real men more than anything right now. It's a pet peeve of mine when I hear women say, "Death to the patriarchy." The patriarchy has served you well. For as powerful as women have become and their state in the world has improved so much, it does stand on the shoulders of the patriarchy. And instead of giving it credit, you're trying to tear it down. So really, you're chipping away at your own foundation, and it's going to have us all in a fucking rut. And I don't care. I mean, I'm personally worn out in certain respects. I've been enjoying myself doing this show a lot lately, but I spend a lot of time on the couch just anguishing over a great many things, thinking about the world. And, you know, I hear Alex Jones often say, and other people on his show say, you're not alone. don't think that you're alone. And yet, when you're sitting alone, I can hear your voice over my phone a million times say that. I'm going to sit here and feel alone because we're not doing something together. It feels like you're alone when you're not actively engaged with changing the world to make it better. And I don't know how we push the momentum back on certain things, especially the war against humanity. The momentum is in their favor. So lately when Alex Jones is giving out the hopeful message that we're winning, I think we are not winning. I still see the momentum in their favor as having not changed. But maybe he's just trying to be inspiring. Like, oh, we're winning? Okay, I want to get up and be a part of this because we're winning, but I'm just giving my honest account of it. And maybe it's too pessimistic on my part. Like, it's going to get really dangerous if people doing what they're doing and they double down on it. The entire world is in tremendous danger. And it causes me a great deal of stress, personally. It's just, I'm not joking. And so, Andrew Tate is a strong man. I don't agree with everything. You've heard me, like, goof on him before, even recently. And he still is a strong man. He's still a man in so many ways to be inspired. Regardless of whether you agree with something he says here and there or not, I think the jury's out for me. I think that he's good for young men. I think he will make men more like men, good qualities of men. And I'm sick of the aspects of the world that are just hating on men right now. I feel downtrodden from it myself. I feel like I've taken a beating, but I'm still saying, fuck you, in Cartman voice from South Park. Fuck you. I'm just exhausted by it. I have my own personal life that I'm not revealing to you right now, and I think part of what is ailing him is what's ailing me. I'm not allowed to be who I am as a person. And that's what a lot of these people who are crying victim are saying is like, just let me be me. It's like, fine, you can be me, but just don't shove your shit down everyone else's throat. So I'm reactive. I'm not out there like trying to stop people from doing what they want to do in the world, but I'm reactive to certain things that I think are dangerous, especially dangerous to children. That's why instead of speaking for myself, I say, Jordan Peterson speaks for me on transgenderism, for example, and critical race theory. Dennis Prager speaks for me on transgenderism and critical race theory. And Abigail Schreier, a book author, she speaks for me on transgenderism. I am unapologetic about that. And I feel like I let them speak because if I do it, I start getting rattled. I start getting angry and I start raging, and it's just not good for me. I don't want to make angry content here. At the same time, I think I'm going to upload this and just take my chances with it. I might even cut the angry clips out of it and see how those fare when people watch it.
People are going to attack me for it and say that it's disingenuous. The person in Sudan who's eating the meal, do you think they believe it's disingenuous? No, I think they feel pretty good that Andrew Tate fed them. And to say
they're like, thank you for the food.
Now because I'm manipulating charity, because I'm using charity, I'm just trying to do good in the world. That's all I've ever been trying to do.
Just to put on the record then, you've said that you've invited us into your house.
Correct.
We're here because you're under house arrest.
Correct.
If you were free to leave, we would have negotiated a more neutral setting.
Don't you think, as the BBC, it would be very interesting to come here and discuss the fact that I was put in a dungeon for 92 days and then locked in house arrest without charge? Don't you think that's a far more interesting conversation than old YouTube snippets? Don't you think that would be interesting?
You're here under house arrest because there's an ongoing investigation into rape and human trafficking allegations against you.
Correct. I've been incarcerated without charge. And don't you think
the rape allegation has
been dropped?
Has been incarcerated for.
Correct. So I'm incarcerated without charge.
My personal opinion is, and this is just as an opinion, is I think he's being railroaded. I think he's being railroaded unjustly, and it kind of makes me sick and sad. And I don't know what else to say about this. I want to cut out on this right now. Maybe I'll come back to something having to do with this, because there are other parts where she gets kind of huffy, but these reporters these days just have this self-righteous attitude, and it's disturbing how people behave. But I'm going to wrap this up. I don't know about this recording today. It is what it is. And that Bill Maher take with Billy Corgan sets me off, and They're just so chill and subdued in the way they talk about it. And Bill is extremely late to the fucking party. Get with it, Bill. Otherwise, you're fucked. Just like we're all fucked. You keep kissing the ass of those people you work for, and even maybe those people you work for are fundamentally good people, and they're being railroaded like you. Everyone needs to wake up and start turning against aspects of the system that are railroading us into the worst human nightmare of human existence. It's sad. That's my story today. I'm going to be more happy next time. I promise you, when I come back, I'm going to have stories. I will tell you if I got some action. I'll tell you if I didn't get some action. If you actually like what I do here, I appreciate you sharing the links. Twitter, Facebook, wherever. Tell your friends about it. Listen to it while you're doing busy work. Comment on the videos. Interact, because I will respond to most people. If you're civilized and you have something interesting to say, I will say something. I hope to have... I think I'm going to have a good weekend here. We'll see. Something's on my mind. I'm not ready to talk about my life, but peace be with you all. Sincerely.